What's up, Layla?
Hi, Brian.
You look great today.
Stop it. Thank you.
Second video episode, so I get to see you. Guys, ever since we started doing video episodes, Layla's just pulling out all this fashion, all this hot fashion we haven't seen before. And I love it.
Yeah, Brian thinks I'm a sleeper.
Yeah.
Because I just don't wear, like, I'm a mom, you know? Like, I don't need to dress. I don't do much.
You're a mom's goal. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't be wearing I guess I could be wearing shit like this to pick up.
I think that's
just
exactly.
Just like no bra, hard nips at pickup.
That's exactly what you should wear to pick your kids up.
I want to, okay,
and watch your kids get straight A's.
I really wanted to get my nipples pierced, but the reason why I don't is because I wear a lot of shirts without a bra, and I don't want my kids to be embarrassed.
That sounds like excuses.
I should just do it.
I think you should do at least one of them. You don't have class today, right?
No, that's a pussy move.
Would you do a nipple piercing today? If we go to, we'll do piercing. I wouldn't do a nipple piercing, but I would get a piercing with you.
Are you dead serious? Like today?
I'll get my ear done.
That's nothing like getting my nipples pierced. Get your dick pierced.
No.
Get your balls pierced.
Those are not the same thing.
Okay.
We're talking about clit and dick.
Okay, what's the equivalent of me getting my nipples pierced?
I'm just saying I'll get a piercing with you so you don't feel
okay,
like
no, you're
alone.
right. That's still very nice.
Yeah.
The thing is, I really want to.
You do.
I think I would take them out immediately because I'd be, which I could. Are my nipples always hard, even if I take them out?
No, I think you'll be fine. I think you're overthinking it. You can always take it out if you hate it. I think today's the day.
Oh my God, are we going to do this today?
We're about to go get your nipples pierced after this.
Oh my God.
At least one of them. If you picked one, would you do left or right, or you're for sure doing
I would
both?
have to do both.
Should I film the whole thing so we have it?
Oh my God.
We'll only post it on the Discord. So if people are in the Discord.
We'll post it on the Discord.
All right, this is going to be spare footage. Layla getting her nipples pierced is happening today. And it will be in the Discord.
Oh, God. Okay. And if y'all aren't in the Discord, it will be in the show notes. It's a brand new Discord server for all of our followers and all of our listeners. So we can just kind of like, you know, we have like a dirty fix channel. And then we have like a general chat. We do like polls. We just like have fun.
And this will be in the Dirty Fix channel.
Oh, God. I guess so. Y'all want to see my titties?
They're about to.
It's just like ding, 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 ding.
Guys, listen, I know it sounds like we planned this. We did not. We just happened to talk about this right now. And I take commitment seriously. You know this, Layla.
Oh,
so once someone says they're doing something, we're doing it.
It's happening.
Or I will lose respect for you.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, I don't want to lose Brian's respect. Okay. Oh, my poor nips. Is it going to hurt?
No.
It's going to hurt.
It will enhance them, though.
Ow.
They will be enhanced.
I don't feel any sexual anything with my nipples anymore.
You don't?
Nope. Not since I had my boob job.
My wife's off work early today, and I think she'd be down to get a piercing also.
Really?
She won't do her nipples. She loves her nipple sensitivity because did you lose sensitivity when you got your boobs done?
I did.
You did?
I did.
But what were they like before and what were they like? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Like, I don't even know if we could do stuff like this on TikTok or whatever. If you went like this really softly, my nipples are going to be so hard now. That would feel good. Now it's like rubbing my arm.
Now we got to chew on them, basically.
That would hurt. I wouldn't like that.
So, okay.
Don't do that.
So, if we get them pierced, though, you think the sensitivity will come back?
No.
I think it will. Don't people usually pierce them to bring some sensitivity back?
I don't think so. A lot of people get them pierced if they have like inverted nipples. Like it'll help with stuff like that. But I don't think it. I think if you have sensitivity to your nipples and then you get them pierced, like it might make them more sensitive. But I think mine are just nerve endings, like they're just gone, right? I guess we'll know soon.
Yeah, we'll try. Are you gonna do horizontal barbell, vertical barbell? Horizontal?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll do horizontal bar. Oh my God, I cannot fucking believe I'm doing this today. This is so creepy.
I would imagine like a hoop would be less pronounced, right, under a shirt. Can you do a hoop though?
They would get caught on things, I would imagine, more.
I know nothing about nipple piercings. I don't know the aftercare. I don't know I think it's hot. I love when I see it.
I love nipple piercings on little boobed girls, women.
Okay.
But big boobs, no, I still like them on big boobs.
No one's going to complain about a nipple piercing. I don't think anyone.
Do you think clit piercings are hot?
I think they are, but like not, as long as I can still eat you out.
Okay. We have a mutual friend. Actually, I don't know if you know her. We have a friend. No, we do. Duh, you drove us to Vegas.
Yes.
Our friend, she has her clit pierced.
I haven't seen her clit. So
yes.
I know a handful of them.
Have you really not? Okay. It's beautiful. She has a beautiful vagina, honestly. Anyway, but she says that like she'll feel it when she's walking and she's like,
Oh, it kind of turns her on?
Yeah.
But that's what's scaring you about your nipples right now.
No.
Is that you'll feel it.
No. That doesn't bother. How it feels, the pain doesn't bother me like that. It's picking up my kids or being around a birthday party. And I guess I just
Lily, you don't wear this to pick up your kids. You wear like baggy shirts. They're not going to see your nipple rings. You think you're the only mom at that school that has nipple rings?
I guess
There's
you're
no
right.
way. You live in Orange County.
I guess you're right.
There's a bunch of undercover sluts right there.
But like
I think y'all all need to.
undercover sluts.
You all need to admit it, and then you got a party.
Oh God. Well, we did move to a different city in Orange County that I think is a little bit better.
Okay.
So I think it would be a little bit not quite as shocking.
Yeah.
Because the community that I lived in before, it would have been shocking.
Yeah.
Like I had, what's it called? Your nose with a
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know. It's like the cow piercing. Those piercings I'm not a big fan of.
Really? Do you
I think
remember
that's
when I had
weird.
mine?
I do remember when you had
You didn't
yours.
like it?
Didn't like it.
Interesting. I thought about getting it done again. Well, now I won't because Brian doesn't like it.
No, just get the nipple. I like nipple piercings more. What do you think about guys who have nose rings, like the little studs on their nose?
I like it.
You like that?
I think it's cute. I think it's really. Oh, Brian.
I'm not gonna do that today.
Okay, fine.
But I love that you brought
really
it
cute,
like right on my face.
I like facial piercings, and this might be the most boring episode ever so far. So we
No,
can cut
it's
all
not.
this if it's on. But I hate eyebrow piercings.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know why. It turns me off.
It's a little 90s emo.
Maybe that's what it is. I think parts of areas that I grew up, not that it's trashy, because I mean, this sounds so fucked up, but the people that I have known back in the day that had those were usually kind of like trashier people.
Okay.
This all sounds so mean, but other facial piercings I really like. Cody had his face, when we first met, he had his like cheek pierced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
I
a
can see
dermal.
that. Did
I
he
had
ride
the back of my neck pierced.
Did he ride a skateboard back then too?
He did. We would
Yeah.
skateboard together.
I can see.
I used to be pretty good at skateboarding.
I believe you.
I can kickflip.
You both own a lot of vans, so I believe you. I believe you. All right. So right after we film this, we'll text. So my wife, she has a half day because they're forcing her to do, it's called education time. And so she hates it. She wants to shoot herself right now anyway. For me to text her and say, hey, would you be down to do a piercing or to come with us to get Layla's nipples pierced? I think she's going to be all about it.
Oh, gosh.
There we go. Yep.
Okay, well.
And you don't drink either. So this is the pure will.
What else can I do?
I think you just suck it up. You
I just
said
have
you
to
can
suck it
handle
up.
it. Ice. Well, ask my wife to put ice in her mouth. She'll put that on your nipples, and then we'll do the piercing.
Wait, that's hot. I would, okay. I
There
feel
we
better.
go.
That's
Some
really fun.
lucky piercing guy is going to get a show today, and he has no idea.
He has no idea what's coming. Oh, Lord have mercy.
You know, I'm glad we're doing this episode today because today we're basically going to answer some questions that people have been asking us for a while. They wanted us to cover on the podcast, but it didn't feel right for full episodes. So we're going to get into some of that. But first, I want to ask a question. It's something that we've been kind of dealing with. Do you know of people who, usually for people in the lifestyle space, like smaller parties or threesomes and couple swaps, they're lower pressure and people usually feel more comfortable there than they do at big parties, right? Do you know of people who flip that, where like they are most comfortable in really large parties and don't like small gatherings?
Me?
You're like that?
Not that I don't like small gatherings, but if I had to choose between threesome, foursome, fivesome, and a party of like 45, 50 people, I would choose the bigger party.
Why?
It's less pressure
It's less pressure on what though?
on me. Like if it's just, 3 or 4 people, if I want to take a break, then we're like missing a key piece. Whereas if it's a party and I want to take a break or I want to play, because you play with people for like 45 minutes. And we've talked about this before, where I play with people for 10 minutes. Thank you. Have a nice day. So when it's a party, I have more variety. And that's what I want. I want a charcuterie board of sluts.
When I do 10 minutes with each person, my wife has a term for it. She says I'm dick dipping.
Wait, I love
She's like, you were doing a lot of dip dicking on Saturday. This happened recently. It was like 9 girls in a night. She's like, yeah, you're dip dicking your dick everywhere.
Wait, that's a great term.
She made it up. I
That's
don't know
a
if it's a
great
real
term.
thing. It
Okay,
should
so
be.
you prefer a smaller party.
I do, because it's less things for me to focus on. Like because your attention span's not better than mine. I mean, it's you bounce around too, right? So if I see a lot of things going on, I'm going to look at it. So big parties are kind of overwhelming for me because I'm trying to take in too much, and I should be focused on what's in front of me.
Okay, is that because if you're like a little too scattered, you lose your boner?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have to worry about that. If I had to worry about that, then it might
Yeah, it's not
be
fair,
different.
is it? Yeah.
I'm so glad that I don't have to be insanely turned on to have sex.
But you're still, it's not like you would be, it's like you'd be interested in me at a big party, but then you're immediately disinterested in me when I try to mention a swap or a 6-person.
True.
Right.
But there are plenty of people that I would hook up with at a big party that if someone was like, hey, so-and-so and someone else want to have a threesome, I'd be like, no. But I would hook up with them at a party.
See, we've been dealing with this, and it's someone who is like, they seem completely disinterested, but then they go to parties and they have a blast, but it's the only time they have a blast. And it's usually at a party and maybe with like some sort of substance. And so we become really curious about that. And I guess it sounds like they're not alone in this.
Or do I know who they are?
I don't think so, because you wouldn't see them unless it was a 100-person party.
Right. Well, speaking of substances, that's an interesting topic too. And I've had a lot of listeners ask about like substances at parties.
Okay.
The only substances that I usually partake in at parties is like I take like a little microdose of mushrooms and take one of my Adderall late. And that makes me horny and that gets me good. And you've never seen me fucked up.
No, never.
You've never seen me sloppy. You've never seen me like under the influence. You've probably never seen me and been like Layla's on one.
Never.
And I can say the same to you. So do you not really participate in like substances that much at parties?
Terrifies me.
Really? Of like overdosing or looking like a fool or?
I never want to be that guy. Like, my wife's never seen me drunk or anything like that. There's something about me, like when we're in events, I can't fully relax because we got to go or something happens and I got to drive. Usually I'm driving to these things too.
Right.
And so there's this part of me that just doesn't fully let go because I'm always on the watch. I'm kind of the guy at the bachelor party too that's like aware. That's pretty aware. I'm not stopping anyone from having fun, but I think it's a big brother in me. But especially when I got to stay hard, I'm afraid to put anything else in my body. So I'll take a Viagra or something like that. This is how far I've gotten. I can take a couple drinks. Before I wouldn't drink at all. But now I can take a couple drinks and I can do a little bit of ketamine. I want to so badly take Molly and go to a party.
Ugh.
But it, like, the roll happens and you're just on the train, right?
Yeah.
You can't get off.
It's hard to get hard on Molly, right?
That too.
Yeah.
That too. So I'm afraid. You know, I met a friend the other day. I don't know if we're going to have him on an episode, but he's been trying to develop a Molly type feeling from THC, and he just wants to put it in dispensaries. If he can crack that, that would be the perfect thing.
I would do that 100%.
To feel like I'm turned on and I'm horny, but I'm not on the train for 8 hours and I can go to sleep when I want to. That would be perfect. It's no surprise he reached out to me to talk to you about it. That's all I'm going to say right now, people. We're not going to promote this thing at all. We have not tried it. But when I met him at Soho House this week, and when he's calling it Mermaid.
Cute.
Which I think will sell.
That's really cute. That's a cute name.
But I'm not a drug dealer. So I'm not gonna like roll up to a party with 100 of these mermaids.
How interesting though.
It's interesting.
So when you're at parties and you see someone that's like on other substances or really drunk, does that turn you off? Or are you just kind of like, whatever, you're hot, you're let's fuck anyway?
You know, it's such an interesting question. And here's what I'll say about this. You don't drink. So remember I was doing that Hard 75 thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife and I weren't drinking. We also weren't doing substances. And it was interesting because when we go to parties, it was like we were meeting our friends for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Because when you think about people drinking or then they take some ketamine or whatever they're taking, they are kind of moving along this adventure on a certain cadence. And we were getting left behind, right? And so people would start talking to it. They'd talk to us once and they'd come back an hour and a half later. And it was like a different person was talking to us. And so as long as I'm on the train with them, it's fine.
I get that.
I think if I was completely sober, it would be challenging. But I will say, though, some parties I think have too many things going on.
Okay, yeah. There are a couple of girls that I know that I adore. They take Molly at parties a lot. And they're, and I've seen people on Molly, their pupils are huge.
Right.
They're kind of grinding their teeth a little bit. So they're not like fucked up. But if I see a guy that wants to hook up with me and he's acting like that, for some reason, even if they're really hot, I don't really want to.
And what is that about? What is that about for you?
Maybe it's because I feel like I don't feel special. And I feel like they would probably get off. They'd fuck a trash can and be happy.
Is it really me or is it the drugs?
Yeah, I guess it's an ego thing for me.
For you?
Yeah, where I'm just like, it's not me, it's the drugs. you know? But also when someone's fucked up at a party, I think I'm just turned off in general because I'm like, get it together.
Is there a part of you that wants guys to want you who are also selective?
Of course.
You don't want to fuck a guy who fucks everyone at the party.
I would if I was really attracted to them. They had a good personality. Like that doesn't matter. But if someone that I know is selective and they have selected me, I feel like a little princess. Like I feel just gorgeous, you know? So yeah, when someone says that they're really picky and they like me, they don't even have to be hot. Honestly, if there's someone in particular that I'm thinking of that I'm not generally attracted to, like I wouldn't pick them out of a lineup, but they're so into me. They're so into me and I fucking love it.
Until you run away.
Well, I don't run away from them because I'm not attracted to them.
Oh, got it.
I only run away from people that I'm insanely attracted to.
Yeah.
So if you think I'm being rude to you at a party, maybe I'm being short with you at a party, I'm not a bitch. I just think you're perfect and I have nothing to say to you, and so I will run away.
Which is probably the opposite of what they think. They think you're not interested.
They think I'm not interested.
Idiots.
And then I'm all like, why am I single? I mean, I'm married, but like, why don't I have a boyfriend?
Okay.
You know, because anytime I find someone, I'm like, why?
But what I will say, because so to get off these drugs, like just like handle your shit. If you're gonna do it, be able to handle it. And I think there's a time and a place. If your goal is to get trash, don't go do it at someone's play party. Yeah. Don't fuck up the experience for everybody else.
Please.
Because we're all in our own anxiety and confidence levels and trying to keep our erections or trying to stay wet. And then you're over there tripping balls. It just distracts everybody. Yeah. So just we love you. Just stay home. But really, I would rather you be at the party and just stop it.
Right. Or just do it when you get home. Leave the party early and then go like roll with your husband in a hotel room or something, you know? But
I talked to a friend, he's British, because he splits time between London and LA. And there's a group that does party in both cities. And he was telling me the other day about the difference in the culture between the LA parties and the London parties. And one of the biggest difference was the drugs. He said that in London, there's not a scene like that. But he said that is very much a US thing.
Really? I would imagine that like that would be different.
It came up because I was asking about one thing my wife and I noticed when we were in Europe was like so many people smoke cigarettes, like even in the house. And he said, yeah, there's more of a cigarette smoking thing going on, but they're not on.
Like during parties?
Well,
I guess they can go outside. I just can't imagine like a smoke-filled party.
Well, there's smoke rooms in the houses. It's like it's designed in a lot of houses because they're kind of old school like that.
Oh, that's cool.
I know it is. So it's it's weird because we're not really into smoking cigarettes and people that smoke cigs, right? But they're not into
the drugs,
hardcore drugs.
Well, they're missing out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's interesting. Anyway, one of the questions we often get, we just had a BDSM guest on last week, and then we often have lifestyle people on, but we don't often have a ton of poly people.
Right.
And what happens is we struggle to find poly people that are doing well. And so what I've been doing, no, I'm not knocking poly people. Y'all are just...
It's just our particular friend group. Our particular friend group, I think, have a couple of poly people that maybe have had a difficult time getting into the space.
Right. There's something that happens when a poly person joins the E&M or the lifestyle groups, and like we just want to fuck.
Yeah.
Right. And you're trying to like fall in love with my wife. It's a little. There's a disconnect, right? But often, so what I've been asking recently, I've been asking people, hey, is there a name a couple that you think is doing poly really well? And the couple that I hear most is you and Cody.
Well, that's because they don't see behind the scenes.
And it's, so what's interesting is I do know from behind the scenes, so I never say, I'm like, that's awesome. Like I never comment back.
Like, I got the tea.
I never say, oh, if you only knew. But so to the outside, people are like, you guys are doing it great. And I know you have struggles like finding a guy, like finding a boy and stuff like that, or a guy. But what do you think you're doing so well that makes other people feel like it's going great?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that question. Cody and I have been we've been in the lifestyle since late 2020, very late 2020. No, early 2021. So it actually hasn't been that long that we've been in the lifestyle. The fact that we are completely transparent with each other about everything. We have check-ins constantly, and not just about poly stuff, but like how are you feeling? Like how does this make you feel? And Cody has had a lot more dating experience than I have. And Cody had a serious girlfriend for about 7 months, and it was the most serious relationship he's had, like, besides me. And they like fell in love. And, you know, people could see on the outside that I'm just, you know, the fun meta and everything's great and super happy for him. But I was struggling. I think Cody was continuously trying to make me feel loved. And eventually, like, watching my partner fall in love with somebody was almost like intoxicating, to the point where he's not dating someone now. And I'm like, go get a girlfriend. Come on, let's go get a girlfriend.
It was intoxicating for you?
For me, because I love seeing my partner in love, and I love giving him advice about his partners. And I love, you know, consoling him when he's heartbroken, which is something I had to do for the first time last year. And I don't think poly's for everybody. I think something else that has made my experience unique, where it's been successful, is because I have such a kink of beautiful women being with my husband. And I always have. So imagining him, even in an emotional standpoint, being with other women, I don't know if sexually it turns me on, but like emotionally, like it's compersion, right? And so feeling compersion is like feeling happiness on your partner's behalf, essentially, for like falling in love. So a lot of communication. We also saw a polyamorous therapist who's also polyamorous. And we were seeing him every week. Very expensive,
right?
Very worth it. Because there was a couple of times where things would come up where we're like, this is never something we're going to be able to figure out on our own. We also have a lot of other polyamorous friends that we bounced ideas off of and bounced things off of. But so much of this has, to make a very long answer shorter or longer, a lot of it's trial and error. A lot of it is just like, let's see if this works. Okay, it doesn't. We also write down, we have a shared note in our phone of all of our boundaries. And it's interesting because when we first got into the lifestyle, one of those boundaries is don't fall in love. And we ended up, dated a guy, Cody dated a girl, and the girl and Cody fell in love. And because me and the guy told me, he was like, I think I might be falling in love with you. And I was like, you can't do that.
Right.
And I told Cody, and he's like, shut that shit down immediately. Wow. There's no love happening.
How many years ago was this?
3.
Okay.
About 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was our first experience in lifestyle, poly, and everything. And then a couple months later, he's like, I think I'm in love with so-and-so. And I'm like,
wow.
And my first reaction was, are you going to tell her?
Really?
I was thrilled. I was so excited, and I couldn't wait. And I was like, how are you going to tell her? What are you going to do? What are you going to wear? And me and my metas also, I love having a relationship with my metas. I love having a friendship with my metas. So a meta is my husband's dating a woman. She's my meta.
Got it.
So the girls.
So it's like a girlfriend-in-law.
Right. No, it is kind of like that. So I'll call this girl R. R and I would have check-ins as well. And then through having these check-ins, we ended up becoming really, really close friends. But we also fought like sisters. Which was...
Really?
Yeah. So that was interesting and difficult for Cody to deal with that too. But a lot of trial and error.
Did you ever team up with her on something y'all have to talk to Cody about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think there was ever something that Cody did where her and I were like, yeah, fuck Cody. No, there wasn't ever anything like that. But there'd be times where she was being a bitch to Cody, or she was being a bitch to me, or vice versa. I was being a bitch to her, and Cody had to be like, okay, you need to calm down. I was like, whose side are you on? You know? And he's like, no one, just.
All right. Can I listen back what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right. If I had to make it concise in a few bullets, 1 was communication. 2 was you brought in some outside support, therapist. 3 was having boundaries. 4 was letting it evolve as it grew.
Yes.
All right. But the last one, and this is the hardest one, is that, because this almost seems a little bit about who you are more so than how to be poly, is that you generally enjoy watching him with other people.
I do.
And it turns you on.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't know if that's not a strategy. That's just you have it or you don't. Right?
Oh, yeah. Before we got in the lifestyle, Cody would have sex with me and I would say, tell me about a time you fucked another girl. So he's fucking me and he's like trying to think of stories.
Right.
And he's telling me these stories and eventually he ran out of stories. So we're starting to repeat stories and it would get me off so good. And eventually I was like, we have to start making new stories.
Because you want to know.
I want to know. Like my best case scenario, whether it's a party or whether it's a threesome, my favorite thing is a girl coming over to the house. I sit in my cuck chair in the corner of the room. I use my vibrator. I watch them play, 20, 30 minutes. I'll kind of tease myself. I just, I pretend I'm not here. And I let them do their thing. And what I like to pretend to do, because I like real cucking too. So what I like to pretend sometimes is that Cody is not satisfied with me. And I imagine the second his dick goes in, he goes, oh, thank God. And then they have sex. And it's my favorite. And then I get off and I go, okay, bye guys. I'm going to go play video games. And then I go in the other room.
It's so funny. One, I'm glad we're sitting down. The second thing, though, that's how I feel at parties sometimes, because it's like I'm having fun, but I'm also wearing a condom. And so the minute if I turn my head and my wife's pussy's available, like I'll hop out, go in her, and I'm like, this is way better. I immediately get hard. Yeah. Have you ever done a situation where you're like a unicorn, but you just watch?
No, but I would.
You would do that?
I don't know if it would turn me on watching like two strangers have sex. I don't think that would turn me on. Friend that was a couple and they're like, would you do this for us? Yeah. Absolutely. I love fulfilling fantasies, so it probably would turn me on. Yeah. Because I know that it is something they're enjoying.
That's so interesting. My wife likes doing that too. Sometimes, like if we bring a girl over, at some point she'll put herself in a chair by herself with a vibrator and just watch.
I love that.
And just watch. But we haven't got to the poly thing yet. So, all right, that's interesting.
Wait, speaking of poly, you and your wife are not. Was this something you guys would ever explore?
I think I'd probably be down for it before she would. Okay. Because I'd be down to have like someone that comes over consistently, or that is a girlfriend type, especially, or I've tried to bring guys around too, but she's really not down for it right now. Maybe that'll change.
Would she be down for you to do it and not her?
I never really go there because I don't really need it that much. It hasn't been worth the conversation for me, but I don't think I really want a separate girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a lot of work.
I don't have time for that. Yeah. Because I think sometimes when people get into poly, they're like, I like the idea of having two partners because then I get all the benefits of having two partners. But I also think you get all the drama
of two partners
and the relationship management of two partners.
Right.
I'm cool. I can't even think of someone right now who I would let be that partner.
Yeah.
I can't.
If the stars aligned and someone entered you and your wife's life that was like a perfect scenario, then it's something that perhaps like you guys would discuss. You guys aren't like, absolutely not. This is a no-go under all circumstances.
She's not here to answer this question for herself. So I don't know. I think that we have become close to certain people, but when we get close to certain people, it's almost not sexual. It's like this person we have a friend who's in the lifestyle space that comes over. We've played with them a couple times, but they tend to just come over. They do some shrooms, we drink some wine, and then we all start talking about what is working and what's not working. And she just sits there and listens and helps us through it. It's a really weird relationship.
Have you or your wife established like real crushes on anybody while y'all have been together?
She's had crushes, and either she'll admit them or she won't, or I'll recognize them, and then I'll try to set up play with those people.
That's really sweet.
I do, because if she's into someone, that makes it real easy for me. What tends to happen is she's not into anybody, and then it's really hard. Yeah. I don't think that I would let her know if I had a crush.
Really? Why not? You think it would upset her?
I don't. It might. I don't want her to think I want to go be with that person. So I think I stop myself from developing crushes.
Okay. But that kind of suck though.
I want to say I had one crush of one person I was into. And then as I got to know them, it went away.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty funny.
I got to know them a little better, and I was like,
not for me.
Because the way I think about it is my wife will bring this up. So the way she'll ask is, hey, if something ever happened to me, who would you be with? Is there someone else? And I don't answer that question because I'm smart.
But do you have someone in mind right now? If you had to pick someone, you had to pick someone right now, do you have someone that you think you'd pick?
If I had to pick someone, I know who I would pick. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Do I know him?
Of course, yeah, you do.
Who is it?
You do. I'll tell you later. Okay. I'm not gonna put myself out there like that.
Okay, fine.
But it has changed over time, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you asked me a year ago, it would have been someone else.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, for sure. See, like, I've always had crushes on people, even when because Cody and I, we've been married, or we've been together for 11 years. And when we got married, I mourned the fact that I was never going to get butterflies about someone else ethically. Right. I'll get crushes on friends all the time, like still, you know? And so like, that's just, I love my friends really deeply, and I always have. And so I would feel guilty for it. And now I'm in a position where like, I don't have to feel guilty for it. And if the feelings occur naturally, I don't have to put up this red tape.
So have you been able to find the butterfly feeling a few times?
Yes. I haven't had butterflies about a person since, like, emotionally, I haven't had butterflies about a person in probably 2 years.
Damn.
But physically, I've had butterflies for like two people maybe in the last couple of years. One of them being that guy I told you about that like was really short on Discord that hit me up again the other day. Our conversations aren't great, but if I saw him at a party, I'd still be like, I don't really care about anything. Just fuck me.
I think the butterflies are a drug. You don't
I'm obsessed. I mean, that's what I'm chasing.
It's a chase, yeah.
And it's annoying because I've always considered myself bisexual, and I think I unfortunately lean more towards men. And I say unfortunately because I love women. I think women are so beautiful. I don't know why I've been having such trouble finding somebody that like gives me those butterflies.
Yeah.
It's a chemistry that like I just seem to be just not having with people.
That's a hard thing.
So I'll go on dates with people. I'll go on first dates and I won't feel that spark. Do I need to feel that spark on the first date? Am I wasting my time if I go on a second date? Or can sparks occur after like multiple dates?
I don't think so. I could be saying this wrong. I might butcher this. Okay. But I read this thing that I don't know if it's recency bias or preference bias. And so if you ask a couple in 10 years, hey, did you know immediately they were the one? They'll say like, yes, I knew it. First date, it popped and I knew this was my person. But what happened was with a lot of these couples, they asked them early in their relationship the same question, and they did not have the butterflies. And so like on month one, they said, hey, I didn't feel the butterflies. I don't know if it's going to work. But then 10 years from now, they misremember.
Interesting.
And they say they did have that feeling and they didn't. So I think sometimes, and the whole point was they were trying to prove that there's a lot of people passing up on others because they don't feel the butterflies immediately. They don't feel like this is my person or this is the partner that I want.
Yeah.
And they're not giving it a chance to develop. And they say it develops over time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that came out of nowhere. I felt like a student for a second. Like, yes, professor, pick me. I know this answer.
There was another guy that I was really into, actually. I forgot about him. And I really hope he doesn't listen to this podcast. I don't think he does. I think he listens to much more serious podcasts than this. But he's a good friend of mine. I think I've talked to you about him before. He like lived in San Diego and then now he's in like NorCal, and we dated for like a couple months and then he was traveling all over and I needed more than what he was able to give me just by like communication. Because I like, you don't have to text me all day long, but just I like to know you're thinking about me, you know, like good morning or like have a great day or like I hope you had a good day. Just like little stuff like that he wasn't able to really give me. And so we learned kind of earlier on, because we've been really close friends for about 2 years. So we learned earlier on that we'd be better friends. But I still would 100% date this guy. I love this guy. I could fall in love with this guy, I think. But at this rate, it's like we've been such close friends for so long that I would be devastated to ever make him feel uncomfortable. So I feel like I'm asking you really vulnerable advice in front of a bunch of cameras, but like, should I talk to him about it or should I just like keep the friendship where it's at? He doesn't flirt with me. I've been naked around him a bunch of times. We don't hook up. We don't kiss. We don't cuddle. But like, I want to.
I think it's worth a conversation.
But what if he's like, I'm not interested, and then it's awkward, and then our friendship is over? I die.
Is the benefit worth the risk?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
Okay. How likely is it that the friendship will really be over?
I just don't want him to feel awkward, like he can't, because he stays with us for, a couple days at a time when he's in town. And I wouldn't want him to be like, because he's so thoughtful too, that I would be afraid that he wouldn't come over because he'd be afraid of me establishing more feelings for him.
Yeah. I think you start with that then.
I don't know. He's staying with us in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that is vulnerability to say, I want to bring this up, but I'm afraid to because I feel like if you're not okay with what I say, that you're not going to keep coming over and things are going to get weird.
No, that's a really fair point. Just being honest like that.
Yeah. So from that point, like, do you want me to tell you what I want to say or not? And give him some choice in it.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
You know, I'm curious, like, because you like watching Cody be with other people, are y'all pretty successful at finding people in the wild?
No, because that's like, I am not a generally horny person, believe it or not. So when we're out in the wild, my thoughts, it never occurs to me of like, we should bring somebody home and have sex with them.
Okay.
And I know that that's weird for like being in the lifestyle and stuff like that, you know, because my husband also wanted to throw me a surprise gangbang for my birthday last year. And when I found out, I was like, don't do that. I like to have the control. I like the plans. I don't like spontaneity, which is totally different than your wife. I don't like spontaneity. I like to know who's going to be there, at what time, what are we eating? Like,
you don't like spontaneity, in spite of the fact that we're talking about spontaneously getting your nipples pierced.
I know. Okay, I like spontaneity when it comes to other things.
Got it.
Like if someone just threw me like a surprise birthday party that was like a, you know, a PG-13 PG party, I'd be stoked. But if it was like a gangbang for me, I'd be like, I want to hand select my people for a gangbang. I don't know. What if I didn't like take a full body shower that day, or like I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I want to be prepared.
But if he found someone in the wild, would you be turned on because he found someone? Like if he went to he doesn't go to the bar, but yeah, I mean, let's say he went to some bar to get a Red Bull or some water, and he meets some girl.
Love it.
You would love it.
Love it.
You just don't want to do it.
No.
Got it.
No, but I'll be at the other end of the bar watching him flirt. Wet.
Got it.
Love it.
But you still don't want to take her home.
If he was really into her, yes, and I would sit in my corner and I would get off and that would be fine. But very rarely am I like, let me get in that pussy that like I wasn't prepared for.
That's the full circle story.
Yes. We found it.
People have been asking me a lot about pulling people in the wild.
You do it pretty successfully.
Anytime we focus on it, we can probably pull it off. And I've been trying to figure out like, what are the tips? Like, what would I say? What are the tips on how to do it? And there were certain things I thought about that were pretty easy. Like, okay, you want to make sure you look good, right? And then you got to make sure you look like you're having fun. If you're just sitting there at the bar, no one's going to come talk to you. If you're sitting at the table, don't expect them to come to you. You get to be the person that's like outgoing, fun, and bubbly because that attracts people around you.
So are you and your wife sitting at the bar? You go, okay, laugh on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No, every time we pulled someone, like we're on the dance floor or like we're walking around the festival, taking funny pictures in front of stuff, doing stuff that brings people over, or we'll just have the courage to talk to you in the line, right? Like we're both walking to the silent disco. I'm going to ask you some questions. There's a conversation, and then you start making out. But okay, but then there's this X factor. I was like, but that's probably not enough. There's something that we probably do that I don't think that other people do well. And I realized what it was. When I think back to the first experience that my wife and I had in Vegas, it was our first group play experience, and we took these 2 girls home. But the way it happened, and I've never admitted this, you've never seen my wife and I walk together down the street, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Okay. No matter what speed I walk, she will walk 2 to 3 steps behind me.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't really walk side by side with me unless I'm holding her hand.
Okay.
And then if we go to like a club or a festival, it gets worse. She will take further steps back.
Well, she's also teeny tiny, little legs.
See, and that's the thing. Like you would think that it's because her legs are small and she can't keep up. But even if I slow down, she doesn't keep up. And here's what's happening. She likes watching me walk and likes watching people notice me.
Oh, that
and it
is
turns
hot.
her on to see people notice.
Yes.
And so in the situations where we found people later, it was people who noticed me that she remembered. And then she caught them later, or we separated on the dance floor. And she would kind of watch to see who danced up on me or who danced up on her. And those were the people that we ended up playing with later. And I realized that as a couple, if you want to meet people in the wild, you got to look like you're having fun. You also want to look secure enough to split up.
Totally. Yeah, because it's way less intimidating going up to one person than it is a couple.
Way less.
Yeah.
And then see who notices him or who's willing to talk to him, and then see who notices her and is willing to talk to her. And then you kind of get together and huddle and you debrief.
Yep.
But every single time we did it, we split up. Like, it's not like I was watching one DJ set and she was across the park watching another one, but we were just creating some space between us to be ourselves. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I think that's key. The other thing though, and I'll say this, and I'm going to say this one time on the podcast, my wife told me never to say this again. Because look, they were not ugly people at all by any means, but they weren't always people that you would invite to a party.
The first people that you hooked up with in the wild.
People in the wild, like I think they were cute, they were attractive.
A man and a woman?
No, it was two women.
The two women, yes, in Vegas.
I think they can both come, but sometimes when we've done it in the wild, you're really looking at who's going to give you attention and who's going to hang out. It's rarely the hottest person in the bar or the hottest person in the club. I think it's realizing that, like, if I'm going to go try to have fun in the wild, the people I play with probably are not going to be as hot as my partner or, you know, as hot as some of the other people that I've had to work a lot for, but you're not working that hard either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not going to be you.
So, oh my God, stop. So what you're saying is like these girls were maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, like probably 6 or 7. Okay. Yeah. And that's still fun.
That is respectable.
Because the story is what makes it fun.
Do it for the plot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the plot and for the adventure. You're not doing it to be like meta dime.
The people that you're finding in the wild, do you keep up with them?
I like some of them. My wife hates it.
Would you keep up with them? Why?
She hates it. Because my wife's very much like, I just want to fuck you and then leave and never talk to you again.
Hilarious.
But for me, I love having friendship. Like if something's easy and it was fun, I'm like, let's run it back.
Do it again.
Let's run it back.
Right.
Make it easy on me.
So after your wife hooks up with one person, she goes, we're done.
You know,
my experience with you has been fulfilled.
Ashley from Santa Barbara never wants to talk to her again, never texted her again. You know?
Ashley from Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ash.
Yeah, Kavanin from Thailand, never going to talk to this person again. She lives in Norway anyway. But there have been a couple. There was one in Vegas who we went, where every time we go to Vegas, I would say, hey, what's up? She'd come out and have fun with us.
Yeah.
I like that, but it's still spontaneous and kind of easy on us.
That's fine.
That is a great question. I will say this. My wife did confess the other day that she feels like she has not been the most supportive of the podcast and our endeavors. And one thing she brought up was, even though she's been asked to be on the podcast many times, she has never said yes. Okay. She still did not say yes, but she did admit that she should say yes.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
Okay. What if you were like a mask like mine that conceals everything?
I think so. There's going to be a lot of, like, we'll have to prepare the questions.
I already have them prepared.
For her.
I have lots prepared for her.
And I think one thing we should get into is like why she so badly she has such a hit it and quit it mind. And what is that? Where is that coming from? I'd love
How fun would it be to have an episode with Cody and your wife?
I think it'd be a ton of fun.
I think that would be a blast. And then we all hook up after? We all hook up before.
That's the thing. You can't plan it. What I'm saying sometimes, and I'm going to tell you this because sometimes you'll hit me up on Instagram or on Discord or whatever, you'd be like, hey, do you think your wife would be down? I don't know. I really don't know. Because sometimes it depends on the situation, or she'll meet somebody. We've been at a party together and she met a couple there that are your friends.
Right. Yes.
And at first she wasn't interested. 5 minutes later, after talking to them, she's hooking up with them.
Yeah.
So you got to talk to her, 1. 2, like it depends on the situation and the story.
Are you guys going to that pool party?
We're not. I'm going to be out of town.
You're always out of town.
But you can't plan it. See, look at you. So you're trying to plan it. You're like at the pool party. Like you just can't. Guy, like people, you cannot.
I was trying to be strategic.
You can't plan it with my wife.
Okay.
It'll happen. She's down. It'll just happen.
Yeah.
She wants that spontaneity. And she would hate it if we secretly plan something.
She'd hate that. Okay.
She would hate it.
Okay, I won't do that.
So we'll save that, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
Anyway, we're running out of time today. I think it was fun.
Yeah, this was just kind of shooting the shit, you know? Like, I feel like this is so many people's favorite episodes when this is the type of conversation that we'd have just like at lunch.
So we're answering questions about poly. We're answering questions about finding people in the wild. I think this stuff is like, it's important topics that people ask about, and we never give it the time.
Yeah,
so.
and feel free to ask us more questions. Our email is in the show notes, so ask away or ask them in the Discord and we'll answer more.
Hopefully some of you were helped by something we said today. That's it.
And if not, who cares? I had fun.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll catch you next time. We're going to do some more virtual and some more in-person episodes. And then some of you have been sending in suggestions for people you want us to talk to. So keep that coming because we hit them up and then we'll bring them on the show too. So that's it today. Look, I know you're going to try something new between now and the next episode. Just try someone new too.
Ooh, yeah, baby. You like that, baby? Oh, yeah.
Let's go get your nipples pierced.
Okay.